You rinse the pasta.
Because you want the starch on the pasta to hold on to the sauce.
See,
the way you're going to do it is you're going to cook your pasta in a big lot of water, put your pasta in. The phrase is salty like seawater. You want to season the pasta because it's just flour, basically flour, water, and maybe egg. You're going to cook it al dente. That's to the T, all right? It's going to have a little bit of chew left in that pasta when you drain it.
I'm with that.
Don't rinse it. Don't you dare rinse it. Your sauce is going to be working on the side. You take your 90% cooked pasta and put that in that hot sauce. Now you're finished cooking the pasta in the sauce, so the pasta absorbs the sauce, gets the flavor in it. You're finishing it in. If it's a little bit tight, you add a little bit of the pasta water. You always save a little bit of the pasta water to loosen it up. And here's the touch where your boy on the board is spot on. If you want it luxurious and really nice, smack it with, it's called mounting with butter. Okay, you're gonna put a few pats of butter in that, let it melt through. It's gonna add a little bit of fat to that, so you get that on your tongue, and that's called mouthfeel.
You
hear it on the Food Channel.
You're making me hungry right now. This sounds incredible.
Well, this is what I do, man.
Well, thank goodness we had somebody that knows what they're doing, other than Max.
Key, I'm not with it. Are you convinced,
Thank
Key?
you for
I'm
calling
not.
in, Art.
I understand everything he's saying. I will not put butter, regardless to what he says. I understand the rinsing, the stick, and I do understand the how do you say it?
Al dente.
Al dente, I agree. I cook it al dente
I'm blown
anyway.
away. Yeah. Max knows nothing about cooking.
How dare you? I also worked in a restaurant for 2 years in high school. Well, maybe less than that.
As a
French restaurant.
As a waiter.
I get it. I'm not putting butter in my pasta, though. I'm good.
All right. Nuggets are up 1-0. Is the series already over, KJM?
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Bostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
ESPN Northwest Florida is already your home for the most live and local sports talk. And now we're taking...
Oh, he got all of that one.
The Inside Drive. Ryan Mulvey, middays, 11 to 1 inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. The latest reactions to the biggest stories happening right now. Plus, interviews, sports betting, and your calls.
You got to be pleased with that.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
You know the break room for the best pool tables in Bay County. But did you know they now serve delicious food? Check out the break room's daily lunch and dinner specials like spaghetti and meatballs, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, air-fried chicken, and more. Plus the best burgers, hot dogs, and you gotta try the Sammy of the day. The break room on Panama City Beach at the corner of Joan Avenue and North Lagoon. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
Chef Ross here. We're open daily at 11 at the break room.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
What's up? It's a Target Trend Alert. New swim has just arrived and it's sunny weather approved.
If you're into bikinis or one pieces, high waists or cutouts, they're the perfect combo of trendy, flattering, and affordable.
That's right. And there are so many cool styles with gorgeous details. These suits have macrame, crochet, wood beads, pretty shells, and more. Totally a luxe for less vibe.
Yeah, so dive in and shop this Target trend without the spend.
Shoreline Rentals, Panama City and Mexico Beach vacation rentals are ready for your visit to the sugary white sand beaches and emerald green waters of the Gulf in Florida's Panhandle. Shoreline Rentals' years of experience means helping you plan a wonderful beach vacation or management of your home will be a breeze. Visit their website or call them today, shorelinerentals-pcb.com or 850-757-7118.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WPLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Full of water. I stay hot tub. Hot tub. Hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub.
What
Gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber tub.
And good morning and welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's a beautiful Friday here in Paradise, and we have the man, the myth, the legend, the hometown boy that did well, Jason, Andrew, Nick Saban Kovaleski. How you doing, sir?
Good. How y'all doing today?
It is the Big Ten Day. 2 Buckeyes in the building.
As it should be.
As it should be.
The future. Sanity has been restored.
The future is here.
Future of the college football world. You can hear it right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Wildcat is in the building. Good, Wildcat. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing groovy. How you doing?
I couldn't be better. And I tell you what, I was so happy that Sheila won those tickets yesterday.
How's your nose?
Huh?
I said, how's your nose?
It's brown.
I don't want to go there.
What's wrong with my nose? I mean, why did you bring up my... Everybody
says all stuffy and stuff.
Oh, okay. Awful. I thought you said talking about how big and fat it was. Okay, yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. No, it's, I go down to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. I get some immune and actually feel better. And I still probably sound stupid.
Look how good he looks for 85.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. Do I not look good?
Yeah, for 85, you're doing good.
Really good. Now, I don't look like Mr. Model over here. If we go back to the 93 reunion this year down in Cape Coral, they're not going to recognize him.
No, he's a stud.
Yeah, he is now into male modeling.
That's what Max Fit products do for you.
That's right. That's right. And where can we go to get Max Fit products in town? We know where to go to Pier Park, but where do we go in town?
So we just opened, been open about 2 weeks in the Del Coronado Village. We've had a lot of people come through. We got the free sample bar over there. One thing is, whether you're a high school athlete, whether you're just an athlete or fit into fitness at all, we have the free InBody 570. You come over, do a free InBody scan. That'll give us an idea, what type of supplement package to put you on. We do custom meal plans. My girl Darlene, she's going to come in probably next week and talk about the process of doing the custom meal plans. A lot of people don't know what to eat. They don't know how to grocery shop. She walks them through that whole process, caters the diet for their goals.
Are you listening to this, Coach?
Yes, I wouldn't
What did you
visit
say
with
this
her.
morning when you walked in? You were talking
I know,
about
it's
Jason.
6
Are M&M's and pudding part of this?
6. Hey, no. Pudding. 6 pounds over.
Oh, she can get you right. I mean, I think we've done 30 in the last 2 months, and I'd say 25 of them are re-up. So, and that's a really, really high level. And 2 of them, moved out of the area. But it's very scientific. We use the InBody 570 to track your results. We do weekly check-ins. She writes out your diet. And for those that are struggling to figure out what to buy, what to eat, how to weigh it out, she'll write out a grocery list. She's actually cooking food for people and doing some food prep. That way it takes everything out if you want to spend a little bit more money. But she's fantastic. Certified dietitian. You can talk to her at the Max Fit in Pier Park, or you can set up an appointment at the 23rd Street location.
Tell you what, she's incredible.
Smart girl, very
she works
smart.
really
Say the
hard.
magic word to free food.
Yeah, but not free.
It's got to be good, healthy food. She works out hard in the gym when I see her, but you can tell, for a fact, to look like that, you got to eat right.
Yeah,
you can work out all you want.
And most people don't understand, when we put you on a meal plan, the hardest thing is the amount of food you're going to have to eat. Because a lot of people think to lose weight, drop body fat,
which
you
is
need to
wrong.
starve yourself. No, it's very wrong. Because if you only feed yourself twice a day, your body doesn't know when its next energy source is going to come from. So it's going to hold on to as much fat, excess energy as possible, because it doesn't know when it's getting its energy source. So it's better to eat more frequently throughout the day, more balanced, more complex carbs. This is stuff if you are interested in, if you're interested in losing weight, if you're interested in building muscle and you struggle with how to eat, you can come in and talk to us and we'll break it down very easily.
And again, on 23rd Street, let's make sure, we got to get that out there, because a lot of people don't really understand where you're at on 23rd.
No, and there's a little bit of problem with our Facebook, 23rd Street Facebook page just has the wrong address on there, so we apologize for that. We're going through the process trying to get that deleted so we can start a new Facebook page for 23rd Street, but we are in the Del Coronado Village. It is 103 West 23rd Street, Suite E5. It's not in the Walmart Plaza, so that's caused some confusion here. But we're planning a grand opening, our regular grand opening, about mid-June. We're going to, work with the chamber a little bit. We're going to have some events. We're going to have some, maybe UFC fighters come in. We're going to make a big event out of it, and that way everybody can come out, check out the facility.
Michael Dennison with Michael's Health Insurance Solutions, he actually goes to the people. They can call them up, they go. And I understand, you tell me if I'm wrong or not, you all will be going to certain high schools. You're going to be going to,
Next
they've
week.
asked you, you're going to them.
Oh, absolutely. And they're excited. We're excited. We've always worked with Arnold and some of the schools on the beach. There's just a lot more in town. And, I went to Bay High, so me and Jeremy have talked. We're going to get out there next week. Mosley starts next week. They've invited us out to talk to the kids, sample out some products, give them some discount codes. I've always had a good relationship with the Bozeman coaches. Obviously, they're on with us a lot, but, they send a lot of kids out there. We do want to get out there. We just haven't coordinated with them yet just because we're busy next week. But we're going to hit all these high schools. We're going to give out samples. We're going to talk to them about nutrition and, try to get these guys on the right track. Because what people don't understand, when you go from a high school, sports program to college, the first thing they're going to do is write you a diet and put you on a supplement package and workout regimen. So that's what we're trying to get these guys to embrace a little bit early so they know what they're doing. It's very competitive to get these scholarships. If you get a scholarship to Alabama, you're one step away from the NFL and making millions of dollars. So, every kid wants that opportunity. So every kid's looking at nutrition, looking at supplementation. They're looking how to get an edge. And us at Max Fit, we do cater to athletes a little bit more. We do sell products that cater to those type of people, even though we have, great stuff for mom and dad too. But, we know what we're doing when it comes to athletes now to get them right.
Well, and Jim, how long did it take you to get that weight off? It's been a while.
Not quite a full year. I didn't do it with it. I did it obviously from the diabetic point of view. I had to change what I was eating. You just couldn't sit in front of the TV and graze all day and just taking all that carbs and sugar and stuff. It's been a slow process. And the thing is, I didn't really try to. It wasn't like I got to lose X amount. It just came off. It just gone,
Just by doing the right thing.
Yeah, just by doing it right and not eating junk all the time.
So a lot of people, and we cater a lot of people that are just like you. They're not into sports. Maybe they played sports back in the day, but maybe they woke up a little bit later in life and they look in the mirror and
maybe
they're like,
lazy, don't want to do anything. Yeah, just,
But a lot of people, the problem with,
eat M&M's and chips all day and wash it down with Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's not the best diet in the world.
Ice cream.
But a lot of the problem is a lot of people don't have the knowledge to even apply it. So that's what we're trying to provide you. If you have the effort, if you have the intestinal fortitude to follow a plan, we can get you results.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I hope our winners, Coach Oles, I hope he's having a great time. I got a Rutherford shirt on just for him today because he's one of our winners, and I know he's looking forward to going. He won Rudy Tootie's dinner, and every day he wants to Gulf Coast Jam tickets.
Nice.
We got him the big deal, and he's having a great time. And Sheila
our winner
won yesterday, and she came in here. We got to meet her.
Yeah, I'm going to start her a fan club.
I tell you what, she's a pretty girl.
Yeah,
sweetheart. Sweet lady. Really sweet lady.
And listens all the time, not just when we're giving a step away. She was talking about shows in the past.
I was like, I said, what, your husband listened and he had you call in? She goes, no, I listen every day.
Oh, wow.
I listen to it every day.
Who's she a fan of?
And she said, Michigan Eddie, let us get the Bama update in. My goodness.
So now she's automatically your favorite.
If she said that, I was like, man, she is highly intelligent. Hey, she had a nice ride, too. I'm not going to tell you what kind, but that was a nice vehicle she has. I like to have one of those.
Yeah, see, our listeners got some class, man.
Yes, they do.
Class.
Some of them.
Looks. We've had our SEC media going on. We got softball being kicked off, going on. Bama got beat last night. Jim's going to talk about FSU in a little while and get into the World Series of softball for the NCAA. Disappointed in the Crimson Tide, but we'll get into that. But a couple other schools are incredible what they're doing. You made a comment earlier, Urban. I told you that a long time ago. Urban definitely wants the Texas job. I believe that. And that's the reason I think he's saying how the roster's so loaded. The best roster in college football. And I'm like, have you looked at Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama's roster? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. But it is good.
It's gotten much better. I mean, Sarkisian has brought in the talent to be able to win a national title. Now we're going to see if he has the coaching ability to coach them up. So.
And these coaches know. And Stark saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Put a little pressure on me there, Urban. Thank you.
Well, he did go hire a couple ex-NFL head coaches, analysts and things like that. Should help him. But anyway, I think Texas is going to have a good year. I know you two don't believe in them. I do think they're going to be better.
Actually, I do believe in them just because this is the last year they're going to be in the Big 12 and they got a soft schedule, basically, outside Alabama.
Speaking of that, Jim, you were here for Tuesday. I told everyone the word on the street is that it was going to stay at 8 conference games. And because everybody's been saying they're going to 9, ESPN's going to demand it, the money's there. And what they've done, they kicked it down the road, really. We'll talk more about it. We got a break coming up right now. I'm going to do the break. I'm going to do my commercials now. We'll come back and talk about the SEC.
First of all, remind everybody, we've had some issues with our Facebook feed.
Yes, we are on now. On the phone.
You put a Band-Aid on it, it's good to go.
Yeah, the Band-Aid, we ripped one off and we put a new one on. It's looking really good. You look on your phone now, you can see 2 beautiful people. I mean, Jason and Jim look really, really good. I got to give them credit. I'm working to get there. Some people say my chest is bigger than Jason's. I do look probably as muscular, a little bit more muscular, but he's more defined. I think you're more cut up.
That was our plan when you were mentoring me in the gym.
Yes. I got a young man from Mobile, Alabama texting me this morning. How do I feel? I feel really good. I feel good, and I look good, and I'm ready to go. So get your tail down here to Panama City Beach. Mr. Blaine Burnett.
Okay.
Yeah. The legendary Blaine Burnett, one of the great football players to come out of the great state of Alabama. Back in 1976, he was an all-state, all-everything. And back then, that was a big deal. Now they know who the All-Americans are. They know who 5-stars are. They never seen them in person. They never watched them play, but they know they're a 5-star.
We had a couple of 5-stars come through. Well, Burt Reed came through, former Florida State wide receiver. He wants to get out and help us, sample some products from Max Fit with the high schools. We're talking about
Let's get him on the show one day.
We are, because I've talked to him about maybe promoting some local high school, camps, some speed camps, maybe not full football for any type of athlete, because we've done this in the past, and we'll, sponsor it in Max Fit. Burt knows the kids out here is really, really good with getting back out and giving back to the kids and showing him the template that allowed him to succeed and make it all the way up to the highest levels of football.
He was every bit as good, maybe better than Deion back when Deion was at North Fort Myers. Now I only saw film of Deion. I didn't see him in person.
Right.
Because I got there after Deion had quit, after he graduated.
Burt was the most electric kid I've seen.
Burt was a real deal, man.
I mean,
he was a real deal.
Yeah. There's a couple kids I played with back in the day, like Fred Trammell, even Mac Pittman, that were kind of on that level, but speed-wise, there's just
in the open field. The only other person I've heard of that was equal to him in open field, making people miss, was probably Jim Brandt in Ohio.
Right.
Back in 75.
Eddie was pretty special.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty good. Let's talk about some of our other wonderful
Glenn
sponsors,
Manley,
man.
too.
Glenn Manley. Hey, Glenn had the size, the speed. He not only could outrun you and make you miss, he could run over you. I mean, Glenn was the total package. I mean, be honest. Who do you think out of the all-time, Bo Jackson, Herschel, or Glenn Manley, of those three?
Oh, Manley.
I think Manley.
Yeah.
His NFL career, he went by another name back then. He went by Earl Campbell. but he was something special.
About Barry Sanders.
Anyway, South Oak Title and Closing for all your real estate needs. Do what the big-time realtors do. I mean, the elite, the Nick Sabans of the world, the Mark Cowards of the world, Beth Mulvey. They all use Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing, because they all know Chuck is number one, no doubt about that. J. Michael's Restaurant today, they have Chris Fish. You talking about eating healthy? Oh my God, the grilled fish is incredible. Bed of rice, special sauce, pepper, onions. Oh, it's really, truly good. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive, the best seafood, Cole's Beer. If you're down here right now for the Gulf Coast Jam, make sure you make your way to J. Michael's Restaurant. Legendary place. You all know about it. Get there and have a great time. All the softball players, soccer players, they all know about J. Michael's from all out the Southeast because they get in here, they keep the radio on ESPN Northwest Florida. They want to know what's going on, and they hear the commercials right here. So we always see them in there. Don't forget about Stevenson Air Conditioning. You have any problems? Who are you going to call, Jason? Jason Stevenson, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Hey, I'm gonna send a picture of his mother of this. We're in class. We're having structure right now, and he's on his hand.
Yeah, like a little.
But anyway, that's okay. You messed me up, but that's all right. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Locals, taking care of locals here in Northwest Florida. Jason does a great job at Stevenson Air Conditioning. I don't care what time, day or night it breaks down. You call them, they'll be there for you. All right, we'll be right back. You listen to ESPN Northwest Florida. Jim Brandt, Jason Kowaleski, the Big Ted duo, Buckeyes in the building. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the northeast around 10 miles per hour and temps near 85. We will have clear skies and a wind speed of 5 miles per hour tonight and be warm at 72. And mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 85 with a light breeze. Mostly sunshine Sunday with a temp of 84. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The road is yours this summer in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by and check out the Bill Bird Kia SUV family that is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 3.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort and safety and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per 1,000 finance at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/5/23.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3. We had a great history lesson going on between breaks. Appreciate you listening this morning. We want you to have a great time. Gulf Coast Jam is going on. I hope Sheila and Coach Oles have a wonderful time with their families. Go out to Rudy's Barbecue, have a great meal. Saw Ethan yesterday doing really well out there at Rudy's Barbecue. Jim Brand's with us, and Jason Kovalevsky. We had told everybody earlier in the week the rumor was what we heard up in Birmingham. And when we never give our sources because we just can't do that. But the person that I was speaking with knows quite a bit about the SEC and knows a lot about, let me put it this way, knows a lot about coaching. And he was not there, by the way.
Coach Saban?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No way. No. He had nothing to do with it. Right. But anyway, they wanted the coaches, wanted to stay at 8. A lot of the Kentuckys of the world, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and they can say what they want, and I'm just keeping it real. Every coach would have one more loss if they go to another game. Right. This is a fact. You're going to have another loss.
Yeah.
And a lot of these schools in the SEC, those bowl games and winning 8 games will keep your job. Look at Kentucky. If you win 8 regular season games, you schedule yourself 4 easy games. And somebody made a good point yesterday. Jeremy Pritchard made a good point yesterday. Louisville's not an easy game.
No, not at all.
So they got Louisville, then they got 3 cupcakes. You got 8 SEC games. If you win half of those, you can keep your job at some of these SEC schools, and you make money. You get the bowl game, the big bowl money, and you keep your fan base happy, and you keep your contract renewed. So those coaches, they can say what they want to say. They didn't want to go to 9 games, okay?
I don't think they're under a lot of pressure to move this forward very fast because I don't think we're done with expansion. And I don't think they know what's...
All right. I'll
let you talk about that first.
You're right.
Right. Because if
they kicked it down the road only 1 year.
Right.
Okay.
So the Big Ten did that a little bit with NBC. So they're supposed to
bring in Notre Dame.
Right,
y'all are playing with Notre Dame.
It was the only odd thing about that TV deal was why did they give NBC the streaming rights when you had Amazon out there? You had a couple others that outbid them, and then people are sitting there thinking, okay, Notre Dame's TV contract's up in 2 years. They threw NBC a bone and said, hey, you can have the exclusive streaming rights. You'll have that Saturday night game. They want to pair with the NFL. And they're going to put Notre Dame and Ohio State on in primetime.
Remember this, too.
And the biggest key, Notre Dame and the University of Miami just were accepted as AAU members.
Thanks for taking my thunder. That's what's getting ready. It just happened. North Carolina.
Yesterday.
North Carolina, Miami now.
Yep. And Notre Dame.
You wait and see.
So if people don't know what AAU is part of the academic side of these colleges. It's based on their research dollars, so how much research they bring in. Some of these schools are bringing in $1 billion a year. Some are bringing $800 million a year. That was a sticking point for the Big Ten adding Texas and Oklahoma because they didn't have that type of research money. They didn't have that type of money bringing in. So the Big Ten told them no. They're looking for AAU accredited colleges, which to me is stupid. We're talking about football conferences.
But go back and talk about the amount of money.
Oh, no. Yeah. Like Stanford brings in $1 billion. Notre Dame, was probably one of the lower ones. They only bring in about $200 million in research money, but they're working towards that because they do want to get to the Big Ten. This kind of gives you an idea of where Miami and Notre Dame are leaning towards joining. So.
And the Pac-12 is getting ready to die. That's just
well, if you have Colorado leave,
and it's happening,
then you're going to have the SEC, Big Ten, ACC. They're going to be circling the Pac-12 and see what teams that can make them more money. Some of these markets are attractive. You got Stanford, Oregon, Washington still out there. We've heard Oregon and Washington are approved for the Big Ten. I think that's just a matter of time. But I do think, in my opinion, this is just going off everything I've read, that I think the next round of expansion is going to be Notre Dame, one way or another. I don't know if it's going to be Miami, Florida State, Stanford, Oregon, Washington, but I do think Notre Dame is the next key piece for the Big Ten to secure.
I wrote down the other schools that made it, and none of them are athletic power. So that's the only schools that would have a chance.
I had the article. I could probably bring it up and look at it.
All right. With the Big 12 bringing in what they've done, they've been aggressive. They got Central Florida, Houston, BYU, and Cincinnati. Now they're looking at Memphis and Colorado are the next 2 teams they're looking for to bring in. I would think they would look at Arizona State, and I think they have reached out there. I think everybody's waiting to see what happens there. So I do believe if you're in that conference now, Central Florida's going to make more money than FSU.
Right.
So I think they might survive this. But I think that's another reason the SEC is working. But then again, there's some other reasons too. They can now demand more money from ESPN with Texas and Oklahoma being in there. They already had the contract with them. Now they can say, if you want us to go to 9, what are you going to pay us to do this? Because we're not going to hurt ourselves. And it also gives them an opportunity to watch and see how the committee really is going to select the teams. Are they really and truly going to look at strength of schedule, what they have never have in the past? It's been what your record's been. I don't care. You can get mad at me all you want. I'm going to say it again. I say it all the time. Cincinnati didn't play a Big Ten schedule. Cincinnati didn't play an SEC schedule. They didn't even play an ACC schedule. I don't think they played one as good as the Big 12.
Right.
But they got in. Cincinnati got in. And then we had TCU get in. And again, they didn't play like a caliber Big Ten SEC schedule. So it's not about, they can say all they want till they show they're going to do these things. Why would you put yourself in harm's way if you're the SEC? Right now, I think they made the right move. The fans are not going to like it. The other conferences are not going to like it because the Big Ten's playing 9, SEC's playing 8. Now, with the committee in 2024 go, wait a minute, we got a Penn State team. Because right now, you can say what you want. Ohio State, Penn State with 12 teams with 2 losses, they're in. Just their name alone, they're in. If Penn State, not sure about them. So if they got 2, maybe 3 losses, and you have an SEC school with 2 or 3 losses, but they didn't play the extra conference game.
Maybe they played an FCS team late in the year. Penn State's playing a Big Ten team.
Exactly. They're playing Austin Peay or something like that, or Southern Mississippi, whatever.
They actually have an extra D1 Power 5 game.
So then, what is the committee going to do? Are you going to let the SEC in? Or are you going to say and do the right thing? And I'm saying it here as an SEC guy, you're going to do the right thing and pick a school that plays a tougher schedule. And if they do that, I think then you'll see, hey, we're going to go play a non-conference game. If not, why would they do it? Why would they change it?
I just think it's a mess, to be honest. There's no leadership within the NCAA. I mean, we've seen that in the last 4 years. I mean, just everything with NIL.
And the ACC staying at 8.
Yeah. There's just no, uniformity in the schedules. There's no really consistency with who's playing who. Like you're saying, there's so many soft conferences out there. Big 12 last year, terrible conference. TCU gets in after a loss, which was insane to me.
And Michigan beat themselves. Y'all, if they play 10 times, Michigan would beat them 9.
Oh, I think that too. I mean, I didn't think that was something where Michigan, played very well. Offensively, they did. Defensively, they were terrible. But you saw TCU against Georgia. TCU had 4 4-stars and 68 3-stars. They had no 5-stars on the team. I mean, when you look at the talent level between Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, even Penn State, Michigan, they just dwarf what TCU had done. For them to get in with a loss, to me, was a little bit laughable, to be honest. But with 12 teams, you're going to get some bad teams in there. We see every year. There's about 3-4 teams that usually can win a national title. I think we've discussed on here all year. There's going to be more teams this year that can win it, probably 8 to 10 than ever. You got Florida State, LSU right there. You got USC, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. So to me, this is going to be one of the more wide open years, one of the deepest years. But there's always going to be teams that get in that don't deserve it. I mean, who's going to get in from the Pac-12? USC, UCLA are gone.
Why would you have anybody in if you're going to pick the best teams? But they're going to take. We'll get more of this at about 7:45. We'll jump back in this. We get at 7:30. We're going to get to FSU in the NCAA World Series of softball with Jim Barrett. Talk about what's going on with that. But we will definitely get back into this. I got a solution for it. I want to get your two guys' opinion. What did you think will happen, Jim, if that does what's to happen? Would they pick Penn State in, or are they giving SEC a school? Would they let them in over Penn State? What do you think that the committee would do?
I would think they'd go to an SEC school. That's just me. That's kind of like the trend. But I'm like Jason. I don't think we're done with all this stuff.
No.
I don't think the finished product is anywhere near the finish line at all. And it's going to be a lot different. It's like when I saw that, and I'm saying, all right, they're going to 8 games, no conferences. No divisions, rather. And it's like, you're going to have the same 2 teams in the SEC every year. Alabama, Georgia, it's every year.
Right.
So to me, what difference does it make? You're going to get the same 2 people. That would be the same thing if they did that in the Big Ten. You're going to get the same 2 every year.
Yeah.
I think the only question left is...
Well, but let me both real quick. You got the Big Ten West, SEC West, the Big Ten East, I think it's the East.
Yeah, East.
Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. Why did they put the three blue bloods of college football in one division?
Geography is part of it.
Part of it, yeah, too. But the second one is they did not want to disrupt the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, and if you're an opposite size, there's a good chance.
But they could have put Penn State,
Yeah, they could have.
I mean, look at Missouri in the SEC. They should be in the West. Yeah, Missouri should be in the West, and they got them in the East. That's how stupid that was.
Well, I mean, based on geography, Penn State, Ohio State had to be in the East, but the one that made it a little bit more crowded was because they wanted to keep the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry together every year, so they're in the East too. So that would be the team that would geographically.
Y'all don't do the crossover, like a permanent crossover.
I think we do, though. I think
they could have kept it that way. Like that's, but then they'd play week to week. They'd play. That's what would happen. You have Ohio State, Michigan play the last week of the season, turn around and play again. Right. That's what they didn't want.
Yeah, because you could be on the different sides and end up in the Big Ten championship game then.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 minutes. Got time to get. All right, Jason. Again, we got to get everybody out there to know we do have 2 stores now. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, one on 23rd Street. Exactly where on 23rd? I always say it's right beside Granny's. I will send them a bill, or we'll let you pay for it. We'll add up to you
for sure. No, but we were in that Del Coronado Village. We're right next to Tzatziki's, in between them and Black Sheep Armory in that Granny Cantrell Plaza. We've had a lot of foot traffic. We're getting a lot of products in. We have the main thing is we have free samples. So if you take a pre-workout, if you take a protein, if you take amino acids or intra workouts or fat burners or whatever, you can come in our store and try stuff for free. You don't have to buy anything. So we just want people to come in and utilize our free sample bar. We have the InBody 570. If you've never done one, it'll give you a really, really good starting base on your baseline metabolic rate, your percent body fat, your visceral fat. It's a real extensive body composition analyzer that allows us to help you better and track results over time. And we always have local military first responder discounts daily. So just come out, check us out, utilize our free sample bar. You can try products for free. One of the best products out, Intech Evolution. No artificial sweeteners, no artificial coloring. It's got 0 sugar. It's one of the best healthy meal replacements on the planet. It's good for you, Jim. It's good for an athlete. It's one of the best proteins on the market. We have it for about $30 less than what they sell it online. So
I like that.
It's really, really good.
You can try it before you buy it.
Absolutely. They got a flavor called caramel latte that a lot of people put in their coffee as a cream and sugar, but amazing flavor. You can come down and grab free samples at Max Fit. The 23rd Street store, we're doing 15% discounts for first-time customers, and we have free blender bottles, free shirts while supplies last.
Get down there and try it. And if you're a coach out there and you want your kids to get bigger, stronger, faster, go see Jason, bring him in, or have him come to you. Let him come to the school and meet with his football team, baseball team, basketball team. They will get bigger. They will perform better. I guarantee that. I know that for a fact. Ask Coach Brown. Ask those guys. I mean, when he was at Mosley, he used to help those guys out at Mosley. Now he's at Bay. And
we've helped a lot of kids out at Bozeman, too. A lot of the Bozeman kids come out. They listen to the show and they hear, they listen. They're more adaptive. Yeah. And I know those guys out there really well. They're always trying to get
out there,
better.
You got the highly intelligent, successful coach. Griff's out there.
Right.
Josh is out there. And then the king.
Coach Patton.
King of
baseball.
The king of everything. I mean, the king of ADs. I mean, he knocked Glenn to the curve. That's the reason Glenn got out of it, retired. He said, I can't keep up with Patton. He just wearing me out. Glenn, you quit.
It's a young man's game.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Come on, man. All right, I tell you, let's talk about Dr. Chad Mitchell. You're talking about a legend. 24 years on Bay County sidelines taking care of all these athletes. He'll take care of you. Just make an appointment, go by and see him. Oh, some sad news. Tommy's wife, Louise, did break a bone in her leg. She fell. They were out hiking, and I was giving him a hard time kidding about it. And so Chad's going to be taking care of her. As soon as they got the x-rays and everything, they went straight to Chad. They went to Mercer and then went straight to Chad Mitchell. And if you get any type of injury, call Chad Mitchell, make an appointment, let him take care of you. The guy's incredible. He's a legend here in Bay County. And you can listen to him every Monday morning. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the best place to go to have great Mexican food, right across the street from the Navy base. Great thing, their happy hour is incredible. You buy one beer, draft beer, next one's free. Margarita, house wine, they all are. It's unbelievable. You have to have a great time. And we're still working out the contract, the details, when we'll have both of, not just one, but both, Jim Durant and Glenn Manley singing Elvis, dressed up like Elvis. It's going to happen on Thursday night. But get out there tonight and have a great time. Then don't head out to Gulf Coast Jam, have a wonderful time. We'll be right back. Wildcat, Kovaleski, Morant, 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The tradition continues.
That ball is going to be out of here.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Head first slide, 2 RBI triple.
This Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball and a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Bestway Portable Buildings, Dave & Buster's, PCB Hobby, and Gulf Coast Aquarium.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! That was terrible. That's what we get. Woo! That's all right.
Miranda Lambert. Woo!
Tell you what.
As long as no roll tide.
Woo, baby. We got before we get to FSU update, brought to you by Newbies, by the way. Go out to Newbies, have a great time. You know you're going to wind up there late night tonight, tomorrow night, because everybody out. When I was there, last time I was at Gulf Coast Gym, Blaine Burnett, Diane, his beautiful wife, were with us, and we heard people saying they were leaving, going, we're heading to Newbies. You're going to be there. Don't you sponsor them? I said, yeah, I'm old too. But get out to Newbies, have a great time. John and Sharp do great things down there. You can watch at Newbies too and watch all the softball games that are going on right now. You can watch Tennessee kick our butt like they did yesterday. Speaking of that, let's bring him on. I do believe I owe him something. Mike, the Tennessee Volunteer. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, my Huckleberry. How are you?
I'm hurting, man. Y'all put it on us. I was disappointed. It was like 10-2 or something like that, and then Bama, I thought might come back, and then didn't happen. Didn't happen.
It didn't, but I can now say, since the Lady Vols have beaten them, I can say real slowly and lowly, roll tide. Because I want their baseball team I want all the SEC teams to win in their regionals and later in the super regionals, and I want the SEC to throw off the yoke of Oklahoma over there in that hometown game of theirs, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, but they Oklahoma City's worked hard to develop a great event, and you can't say, well, we ought to move it because Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are so good. Well, it's just the way it happens, you know.
Yeah.
We don't move the SEC championship game just because Georgia got good.
Well, you know what, Mike? Speaking of softball, baseball, the commissioner was asked about that yesterday and about Hoover, and he goes, man, more or less, it's going to take a lot to get them out of Hoover. He just went on and on the way they run it. Everybody looks forward to going there. It's the first step to Omaha. It prepares our teams and everything else. But he did say, then it was a political thing, but we always, look.
It'd be great to rotate it, to have it at the minor league park in Nashville, which there may be a major league park there eventually if we can get the Rays up there. And, it'd be nice to take it other places, but you don't want to do what we do at the basketball tournament and send it to Orlando to vacant seats.
Right.
And it's they know how to do it. Yeah. I mean, it's just like you're not going to move the Masters. Right. They know how to do it.
And they mentioned the weather. The weather, it doesn't matter unless you play indoors. You're going to have weather in the South. It's not just Birmingham, it's everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly. Tornado warnings, everything, and they just have to deal with it. And they've done pretty well with it. I think we had that one year where they had to shorten it or something. I can't remember, a year or two ago. But everything's looking good here in the spring, and give us a little diversion from talking football, which we won't completely divert. I want to say something about FSU football and the national media.
Okay.
There is an anti-Southern bias. I mean, it sounds like I'm paranoid or something or suspicious, but they keep mentioning all these quarterbacks out in the Pac-12, including Bo Nix, but they don't mention Florida State's quarterback in the same breath, and he needs to be mentioned even with the Heisman Trophy winner.
They hate the South. We got 2 Buckeyes in here right now. They can't stand the SEC.
Oh, Kovalevsky there too?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about it?
What's
hey,
up,
hey,
man?
Coach Jim Bob. Hey, Jason.
Hey.
Well,
But I actually agree with you on Jordan Travis.
I got a bigger headache about it than Donnie Nicky after making a wedge-busting play. You know, I tell you, he was a good one at Ohio State, and he's coached in Tennessee. Good guy. And they've ruled his position out in the National Football League. There'll never be another man like him to play as a special team specialist.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, you got to come by and pick up your 12 Dr. Peppers, okay?
I'm gonna, and don't forget the extra 2.
Okay. All right. You
I actually was a 6-pack, but I'll take a 12-pack. Y'all owe me a 12-pack anyway. I only do about 30. I'll be by to get them next week. I'm not going to tell you when because I don't want them to put up a roadblock and deliver me. I found out I'm wanted in another county in Alabama.
There you go. Everybody wants you.
I went through a spell of driving poorly. Let's put it that way. That's why I don't drive anymore. I'm going to have a honey driving me. We'll see you next week. Go Vols.
Bye, Mike. Unbelievable. They own us. Tennessee owns us. Jim Bob, FSU, what you got for us today?
Well, if you're an FSU fan, which a lot of you people out there are, you're pretty aware that they've got a really good season going in softball. They beat Oklahoma State, who they were 1-2 against in the regular season. They played them 3 times. They're all Oklahoma State. But they had a great start. Michaela Edenfield from Sneads, Florida, their catcher for Florida State, hit a bomb. Oh, my goodness. It was gone the second she hit it. It's like, that's out. Way out. Of course, she's 6'1". She's a big girl. She crushed it. Anyway, that put them ahead 2-0. Then they had an hour and 45-minute lightning delay. And we know what that's like with lightning delay. Once that starts, you're never going to get going in a fast amount of time. Anyway, long story short, they won 8-0. And the significance about that, of Florida State winning under Lonnie Almeida, who's had a ton of success at Florida State, that was the first time that Florida State under Lonnie Almeida had won the first game at the College World Series. And that kid puts you 1-0 as opposed to being 0-1. You got to go play in the loser's bracket and kind of cuts down your edge a little bit. Other teams that played let's start with Tennessee beating Alabama 10-5. Then Oklahoma beat Stanford 2-0. And I heard a stat this morning, and I had to look it up. It was phenomenal. Everybody is aware that Oklahoma is unbelievable.
Yeah.
They got 49 wins in a row. And I thought they said 43 shutouts. And I said, they got 43 shutouts this year? So before the show started, I went on the phone and looked it up. It wasn't 43. It's 33. So 33 times this year, Oklahoma's playing. The other team is
That's
not
crazy.
Slackers.
It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, how do you lose? I mean, well, obviously they don't. So one of their close losses, or wins rather, for Oklahoma was to Florida State 5-4 earlier in the season. So, Florida State went out there and gave them a game. Scoring 4 runs against them doesn't sound like a big deal. But the only team that scored more was Clemson, had 7 about a week ago. And then Oklahoma came back and hit a couple home runs and beat them 8-7. So I don't know who's going to beat Oklahoma.
Good luck.
Florida State is really good. I think Tennessee's doing a really good job. And in the last game, Washington and Utah was supposed to be the late game. They got pushed back till today because of the lightning and everything. So
will they have to play 2 games today then?
Probably.
Yeah.
Now today, for the teams that have lost, you got Alabama and Stanford will be playing, and the loser of that one will be out.
Wow.
And then
what time's that one? Did it say?
I don't know. And then Oklahoma State will be playing the loser of Utah and Washington. Again, I have no times on it.
So I really do believe they'll have to play back-to-back today.
Yeah, probably. And then Saturday, Tennessee and Oklahoma, and FSU versus the winner of Utah and Washington. So,
all right, go back to Saturday. Say it one more time.
On Saturday, I already said it's Tennessee and Oklahoma because they both won.
That's going to be a good one, though.
And then Florida State will play the winner of Utah and Washington, whoever wins that game today.
Yeah.
Florida State will get the winner of that game on Saturday. So making a little bit of headway, but it takes about a full week to get through it all because you got to lose twice, Right. So I couldn't believe Oklahoma has got 33 shutouts.
I can't believe they won 49 games straight.
It's like, wow. I mean, and you watch them play, they just don't make any mistakes. I mean, they always catch the ball. They're just like a machine.
And where will they be next year?
Well, they've won 2 in a row. I thought, and they had that all-time home run hitter from Hawaii, to play for them. I can't remember her name, but she had like a ton of home runs. She's gone, and they didn't even miss a beat. I mean,
so actually, we have 3 teams from the SEC in there.
Actually, not.
How do you figure?
Oklahoma, Tennessee, Alabama, and really down the road, FSU. So we really got 4.
Yeah.
I thought y'all didn't win FSU.
And no matter who wins, the SEC is the national champ.
Thank you.
But Paul Feinbaum said that Florida State's not as attractive to the SEC as they think.
He hates it. He hates FSU.
He hated them since Jimbo's been there.
Yeah, he does.
I
don't think, you know what? I don't think FSU likes him either.
I don't think so. I don't think they care, to be honest.
All right, let's take a break. We'll get back to Jim Bob and see what else. Anything else, FSU, baseball, football?
No, it just kind of surprised me what Mike said about Jordan Travis not getting any love. He's a phenomenal quarterback,
Well, I look at all these national magazines.
He's the top 3 for the Heisman.
Yeah, he's up for the Heisman. I mean, he's 1 or 2. I think FSU. We're gonna know everything we need to know week 1. Everything for both those teams.
You're right.
So, we're going to know about your Chip Kelly. Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
We're going to find out if he's going to win a national title this year.
Is he a good fit for the SEC?
Does he know what a beignet is yet? Does he
Wait till they lose one game with this roster, because now he's got some pressure on him. We'll see. This is going to be the truth teller on Brian Kelly this year.
Jason Kovaleski.
All the momentum in the world.
Jason, let me ask you something.
Yep.
You talking about Brian Kelly?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. It's not outstanding. Is that one of your favorite places?
One of the top 3.
Tell you what, get out to Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road on your way to Gulf Coast. All right, on the way back, whatever. No, probably better to go. If you go there in the morning, I think that Gulf Coast, that's going all day long Saturday, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but get out to Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. The barbecue's incredible. But I'm telling you, the turkey sandwich, the turkey plate's incredible. Everything out there's really good. They got it set up too when you walk in. Everything you shouldn't probably eat.
Right.
I say I shouldn't eat. It's right there in front of you. It's really good. Grab one of them and put it on your plate and go order. Their sausage is unbelievable. What's your? Do you like the one with the?
I get the brisket with the new potatoes and the cream corn.
Good. I saw Dennis Bush eat that whole thing like that. That's incredible.
That's good.
Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. Ethan Boyd does a great job. And don't forget about John Sharp. What a wonderful job they do at Newbies. And Kathy and Will. They got a great crew down there. Get out to all 3 locations. Have a wonderful time at Mrs. Newbies. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward. Do not put it off. 5 minutes can save your life, and there's offices throughout Northwest Florida. And again, we got Jason Kovaleski, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, Big John, retired police officer, guys, incredible. 3 restaurants in one, the pizza, the deli, and the bakery. They're the best at all 3, no doubt about that. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back. ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Hi, this is David from the Afternoon Underdogs. Join me, Drew, Amanda, Kyle, Caveman Rick, AG, and a cast of sports fanatics every Wednesday at Dave & Buster's.
While we are broadcasting the entire show live on location, enjoy half-price games, half-price cocktails, plus win Dave & Buster's game cards, and just for stopping by, free ESPN Northwest Florida swag.
See you Wednesday at Dave & Buster's.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the northeast around 10 miles per hour and temps near 85. We will have clear skies and a wind speed of 5 miles per hour tonight and be warm at 72. And mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 85 with a light breeze. Mostly sunshine Sunday with a temp of 84. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Everyone loves gold chains. I mean, who doesn't? Gold always works. Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves features the largest selection of 14-karat gold chains, bracelets, pendants, and earrings you'll find anywhere. In fact, more than all the other stores in Bay County combined. And they're all on sale today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves. You won't find a larger selection or lower prices anywhere. Gold always works, and you can take that to the bank.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore portable building dealer, Panama City.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, I do want to mention a couple other people. We've been praying for Pat over at Beef O'Brady's, Pat Perneau. He is doing well. Everything went pretty good. And just keep him in your prayers that he will continue to do pretty good. He had a little procedure done. But you want to get to Beef O'Brady's, especially on Wednesday, man. They got some of the biggest, beautiful 10 juicy wings and a drink for only $9.99. That's from 11:30 to 3 on Wednesday. But the rest of the week, they have lunch specials, great atmosphere. Food's incredible. If you're in Lynn Haven, get by there. Beef O'Brady's, TV's everywhere. You can watch all the sporting events. Also, we got to talk about Michael. Michael's Insurance Solution. Michael does a great job. He was supposed to be in here yesterday, had to go to Bluntstown for a meeting. We're talking about Jason's place. Jason will come to you. Michael will do the same thing for all your insurance needs. Getting ready to turn 65 years old, you definitely want to call him, have him come to your house and go over everything, every option you have. It's about your individual health, how you are. That's going to determine what plan you choose, and it helps you save money, by the way. He does individual, family, group, health insurance, advantage plans. He does it all. And you can listen to him every Thursday right here in Northwest Florida. My good buddy Patrick does a great job with Turf Pro Pest Control. They do an incredible job. You want that yard to look beautiful, you got to call him. Call Patrick. Turf Pro Pest Control, they'll take care of you. No doubt about that. All right. I do want to get back. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now. We got about 15 minutes. All right, just hear me out. Let me see what you both guys think about this. You know how the music, you can listen to it today if you have, what are that radio thing's called? America's Top 40. Casey Kasem, is that his name? America's Top, is that right? America's Top 40?
That's one of them, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I used to listen to him. If you got, I think it's satellite radio. I think he calls it satellite radio. If you got that, you can hit the 70s, and I like to listen to the 70s.
I got XM, yeah.
Yeah. Well, why can't we do this? Let's get rid of these little bowl games. Let's get rid of conference championships. And you probably won't like one of them because I know it's a waste of time. I know it before I say it. But let's have the top 40 mean something. If you rank the top 40, you're going to be in a bowl game. If you're ranked in the top 16, you're going to make the playoffs. That way, the reason I say that, Jason, I know it's stupid because there's not 16 teams out there that can win a national championship. Right. I know that. But if you're going to let in these powder cuff conferences because everybody has to have get a piece of paper, everybody got to have a trophy, we're going to let every conference champ in. Well, let's bump it up until 12. Let's give the SEC 2 more and the Big Ten 2 more because that's the 2 best conferences in college football. If you're in the Big 12, ACC, I'm sorry, it is. It just is. You look at every day's draft, you look at the roster, 5 stars, 4 stars, that's where they come from.
Right.
Look at the stadiums. Look at the coaches, how much they're paid. It's where it's at. It's where it's heading to. Let's top the. All right, so you have 16 teams get in. We'll still let the little cupcake conferences get in. You got 16 teams in, and then from your 17th ranked to 40th, you have a bowl game. So if I did this right, you would have 8 teams playing for 8 teams, 8 games, being 8 bowl games, or you could play like they're doing now, the first round at home, whatever. Then you have 12 bowl games after that, and those have to be going to where they have X number of fans show up at them. Not the Pinstripe Bowl's gone, dead, over, gone. Nobody's going to go play it. Nobody wants to go play in New York in that kind of weather.
One of my ideas was they should have regional sites. When you have a team that's close to that regional, they should use that as a satellite site. So if Alabama goes to a bowl game and it's not one of the New Year's 6-day bowl games, if they have a game, let's say in New Orleans, they should be slotted to New Orleans because that's a close enough place where their fan base could drive and actually, sell tickets. I get tired of seeing these games on December 28th that are in Mobile, and you got an LA team playing a team from Maine or something, maybe not exactly.
Nobody there.
And there's 0 people in the stands. And it's
what's
boring to watch.
The community because nobody's really traveling to say.
The other thing, the glitch in regardless of how the bowls are adjusted, now I'm not talking about the playoff teams because there's something on the line there. But in all those games, there's nothing to play for.
Who's going to risk injury?
And we've seen it every year. It's gotten worse, but people bail out from teams that you think, well, certainly they go play at this college. No, they won't. They're going to bail. Ohio State's had them. Alabama's had them. They've all had them where they just sit out and say, I'm not playing there. I'm risk getting hurt. Yeah. To me, that's the biggest drawback with any bowl game format that's not playoffs.
I think you got to do this. I really do.
How do you get them to want to play?
With it set up like I'm talking about. My thought. I thought about that. The top 40, make it mean something. America's top 40. If you're in it, you're going to make money. You got to pay these players to come play in that bowl game.
That's
you got to pay
the
them.
Only way.
Now, we got 41 bowl games right now, or 40 bowl games, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's probably more than that.
Yeah. And the teams aren't that good anyway. So if you only have 12 bowl games, you got 12 bowl games, you got 8 playoff games, really. So you got a total of 40 teams involved in this. Now, you can actually pay those other 12 teams, those players, X amount of money. I don't know how much, I have no idea. But some type of money. Reward them for making the American top 40. But, Jason, the reason they have those games on December 27, 28, 26 is for time. They have to have inventory to pay on ESPN.
Plus, that's a holiday season. A lot of people off work. You got Thanksgiving. You got Christmas coming up. So, I mean, they're trying to fill TV slots.
And I'm like, Jim, why go play in this game? Hell, I might get hurt. I'm not going to play in that game. Well, if you can pay them some money.
I don't know how many. I don't know if there's probably statistics out there how many players really get hurt. I mean, the one that I remember too, the kid that played at Notre Dame, played the linebacker, played against Ohio State. I think was out in the Fiesta Bowl.
Jalen Smith.
Yeah, he blew his knee out. I mean, that was a legit.
They got to have an insurance policy.
Yeah, he got hurt big time. And Jake Butt from Michigan, the tight end, he got hurt too. But to me, that's just football.
Right.
I mean, stuff happens.
But with this, they could go and have an insurance policy on every team. Every team. If a kid gets hurt, let's say, come up with a number. I don't know. Because all players not going to get drafted like others. Right. I maybe have a 2-tier. One pays out $2 million, one pays out $1 million. I don't know.
The only problem with this is, minus the schools funding that, I don't see how the bowls could afford to do that because they're already struggling.
They have to use some of that TV money.
Yeah. And, what we've realized is they're very greedy. They're not really wanting to pay the players. That's why they kind of push it down.
That's the reason where we are right now.
Right. Yeah. And the whole point of all this is we don't know exactly where all this is headed. We all think it's labor unions and the federal government coming in and structuring it. That's why it is the Wild Wild West right now. But it's not going to look the same in 3 years or 5 years it is today. And I think we're just in the middle of this transition, and there's really not a NCA or governing body that's actually driving this transition. It's basically wait and see, react, what's going to happen here.
Do you like my thoughts of the American top 40?
I do, but to me it's going to be hard to implement, and I don't know if the bowls have the cash to be able to pay players. So where's that money going to come from?
I don't know if you can stop a city from putting on a bowl game either.
And I don't think you can force us to care about these bottom tier bowl games in the middle of December sometime.
I just think this would be pretty cool if we did it this way.
I think this will be much more interesting for sure.
But you said something that's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. They're going to have to be a union.
Oh, absolutely.
That way you can control it, and they'll get what they want. You can bargain with them. No, we're not going to do this. Yes, we are. And it's got to be, they're going to have to even be employees of the university for somebody. I always said for a 1-year contract. Somebody out there I heard said make it a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
Even makes more sense. I don't know if they'll sign for 2 years.
If you get players' unions in college football, here's what's going to happen. We want to limit how much we practice. We want to limit how much we do this.
It's going to be the NFL model.
It's going to be just like
meeting times.
Yeah, we're going to have X amount of meeting time, so much travel. You got to pay us to do this. You got to pay us to do that.
And not only during season.
That's why I think.
Then you're going to watch these winter workeurs. They're not going to be like they used to be in the old days.
Ronald Reagan warned us when he said the government shows up and said we're here to help you. They're
here to rob you.
They're going to rob you blind and give you a terrible product. That's what I fear.
Anybody would want the government to get involved in sports. You got to be out of your mind.
But we knew this was coming. The NCAA, they're not stupid people. You know, as much as we want to say the NCAA did this dumb thing, they threw their hands up and allowed this mess to happen because this is the next
path of
step.
least resistance.
Yeah.
Doesn't put any.
They were stupid.
Responsibility on.
They kept fighting, kept throwing millions of dollars on lawyer fees to fight this stuff. And they weren't going to win it.
No, and once they lost that case, they have no power.
Yeah,
I mean,
they haven't had any power since they lost the case.
And that's
you
why
don't even hear from the NCAA.
No, that's why they threw their hands up. Not our problem. You know, NIL, transfer, tampering, all that is outrageously wild right now. It's the wild, wild west. Yeah. Nobody's policing it, but they're kicking the can down to the federal government.
My God.
It's coming.
All the government and politicians do. They go up there to get wealthy. They rob you of your money. That's all they do. That's all they're good for. I hate them.
It's not going to make the game better.
I got to shut up. I'm shut up.
Well, it's just.
I don't hate all of them. I'm saying that, but
at this point, the federal government is dislikable.
Hide your pocketbook. All right, how much time we got? Oh, somebody else said that. What about time? About me? Anyway, hey, we hope you have a great day today. Can we leave now? All right, we'll be right back. We got Bama, Auburn, we got Jim Bob, we got Jason Kovaleski, we got the odds of the ACC, who's going to win it, and all that. We got all kind of good stuff for you right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We love all of our sponsors. Get out J. Michael's Restaurant today. Have a great time. We'll be right back. ESPN Northwest Florida.
In Northwest Florida, the tradition continues.
That ball's going to be out of here.
America's team plays here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Ronald Acuna just clobbered one to left.
Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball in a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Bilberg Kia, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Mid-South Lumber, Stormore Portable Buildings, and Brock Pest Control.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the northeast around 10 miles per hour and temps near 85. We will have clear skies and a wind speed of 5 miles per hour tonight and be warm at 72. And mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 85 with a light breeze. Mostly sunshine Sunday with a temp of 84. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WPOQ Port St. Joe.
You gotta fight!
ESPN Northwest Florida.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Alabama updates played by Stevenson Air Conditioning. I apologize for getting a lot of people try to do the right things in this world. It's just, I just don't think that college athletics needs to be going to Washington for anything. That's just my opinion.
What has the government done that's good in the last 4 years?
Last 40.
Well, anyway, anything. I'm just saying, just been recent.
Right. Alabama update, again, brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. What I love about Jason's a local guy, done a great job living here. Grew up here, and he's taking care of everybody in Northwest Florida. And anytime I can support locals, I'm going to do that. Local, not these national companies. I like local people, and he does a tremendous job. He did it at our house. Get out to Stevenson Air Conditioning. If it breaks down, it's hot now. It's humid. It's going to get warm. We all know it's getting ready to be really bad for the next 3 months. And if you have any problem whatsoever, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll send a crew out there, and they do a great job. You can trust them. They're honest. They're good, hardworking, really outstanding people. I think a world of them. All right, let's talk about the Alabama update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Top 10 programs over the last 20 years on winning percentages, okay? Let's get into it. I'm not going to do the top 10. No, I'm not going to do that to save time or to waste time. I'm going to do the top 25. Coming at number 25 in the last 20 years, Utah. Number 24. And they've been in the playoffs, and they've been embarrassed every year they've been in there. Notre Dame. Number 23, Tennessee Volunteers. 22, Boise State. 21, Missouri. They were good when Pinkel was there. Number 10.
Because Pinkel's from Akron, Ohio. Just saying.
Him and Nick coached together.
In Ohio.
Well, whatever. Michigan State. Iowa, good program. 20. Here's your top 20. Iowa. 19, TCU. 18, Virginia Tech. 17, Texas A&M. I'm telling you, this is a great job, and I really believe if you had and he's a good coach, okay? He's a good coach, but he's not an elite coach. But I'm sorry, Penn State, that's a blue blood. They should be better. That's just me. They can't beat Michigan. They can't beat Ohio State. And they're all in the same league.
The problem is, what coach out there would take that job that would be their Urban Meyer or Nick Saban? You know, is there a guy out there, you know? James Franklin's going to win you 9-10 games every year, and they're going to look Ohio State in the face and give them a game every single year.
But they're going to lose.
Yeah, they will at the end because of one of Franklin's coaching decisions.
That's what I say. I'm telling you, that's a great job. That's one of the elite jobs in college football. 15 over the last 20 years. Now remember, we're talking last 20 years. Was Michigan. This hurts me. 14 was Florida State. I'm used to them being a lot better, but they've been down a while. 13th was Oregon, 12th Oklahoma State, 11th Wisconsin. With Lou Fickell there, they're going to keep getting better, man. I think that's a good job. I really do.
You couldn't fit a more perfect coach in a perfect scenario.
And you see they're going to put a lot more money in the program, what they're doing in the field, and the pay, everything.
I mean, you know the Big Ten payouts. Those guys are about to get some big checks north of $100 million a year. So it's going into facilities, recruiting. These teams are only going to get better, especially with the coaching they got, Nebraska, Wisconsin.
USC coming in, UCLA, and more. And more. All right, here we go. Here are the elites of college football over the last 20 years. The Blue Bloods. Coming at number 10, I really thought they'd be higher because 20 years, Southern Cal. Southern Cal was number 10. Number 9, Texas Longhorns. And number 8, Auburn Tigers.
Wow.
Auburn Tigers over the last 20 years. I'm telling everybody all the time, they say, Auburn, you got Alabama, you got Auburn is a great job. When they're all together, on the boosters all together, watch out. They're going to be good with Hugh Freeze. I do believe that. Number 7, and they're at rock bottom right now, but number 7, the Florida Gators.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, I mean, well, remember Tebow to
we're going how far back then?
20 years.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Number 6, Clemson. Here are your top 5. Number 5, LSU. Les Miles was there. If you're at LSU, Kelly's going to win the national championship. Last 3 coaches have. Kelly's going to win the national championship.
No, he's not.
Georgia, they're there. They're the new member of the elites. Number 3. Who's number 3? They go into Columbus and stick a flag in the ground. Oklahoma is number 3. Number 2, the Ohio State Buckeyes, and number 1, Alabama Crimson Tide.
Isn't it funny how everybody says Ohio State's overrated every year, but every statistical category, they're 1 or 2.
I told him this. I go back and look at everything over 100 years. The top 2 in just about everything is either Ohio State or Alabama. Yeah. It's crazy.
True.
Well, where did Woody coach and where did Bear coach?
Yeah.
What do you expect? Kirby Smart, how much time I got? Kirby Smart was asked about being compared. Are they the new Alabama, or have they they asked, have you passed Alabama? His response to his question at the I guess it was in Destin. First of all, I don't hear that a lot. Number 2, I don't measure our program based on Alabama's program.
Okay. Yeah, we believe that.
Or Saban, my mentor.
We measure our program on the best we can do. How we work, how we perform, how we prepare, that's what we base it on. We don't base it on other programs. Kirby Smart's record at Georgia now is incredible. 81 wins, 15 losses. Might as well go ahead and put 15 more on there where he'll be 96-15. Guy's incredible. Nick Saban, Kirby's won back-to-back national championships, and they're asking him, have you passed Alabama? Are you the best? Alabama's won, Nick Saban's won 6 national championships there. He's won 7 at overall, 1 at LSU. I have the utmost respect for Nick and the University of Alabama. Everything they've done is incredible. But that doesn't have anything to do with us. If they win 3, if they wins it now, in my opinion, he's the greatest coach today in college football if he wins next year the 3rd national championship. And Nick Saban is the greatest coach ever. But, man, Kirby has really knocked out of the ballpark. He has put himself up there with the Urban Meyer and all those.
But it is kind of funny. And this is how hard it is to win a national title and how razor-thin some of these, years are. You go back 2 years. If Jamison Williams doesn't get hurt in the Alabama-Georgia national championship game, Alabama wins that game. I'm convinced of that. They were driving down to go up 2 scores. Fast forward to last year, Ohio State up, 10 points, get a targeting call in the end zone, would have put the ball on the 1 yard line. They would have got up 17 late in that game. Another first down call that was completely botched that gave Georgia another touchdown late in that game. Without those 2 calls, Georgia doesn't win that game. And what was the stigma with Kirby before that? He couldn't win the big game, couldn't win the national title. So he's gotten some luck the last 2 years. And when we go from Kirby to being possibly Mark Richt to now him being Nick Saban, I'm just saying pump the brakes just a little bit. He deserves all the credit in the world. He's the top of college football right now. Has he surpassed Nick Saban?
You already got some Georgia people mad.
I know. Come on. Bring
no
it.
Way. He is on the top. Kirby Smart is the...
Right now, he's definitely on top.
In college football
but is this a dynasty? Are they the next Alabama? I still think that's to be determined. They're going to break in a new quarterback this year, and I think people underestimated how good Stetson Bennett was for that system, for that offense, for that team. Even though he's not an elite NFL prospect, he was elite in that offense, and he had the moxie and the fortitude and that it factor.
Yeah,
well, he has the it factor, no question.
Well, let's let Chris set you straight. Good morning. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic, Coach. How y'all doing today?
We're doing great.
Hey, I don't mean to hijack the segment, but I got 2 Ohio guys on there. Gentlemen, there are 2 Ohio schools and regionals today. Can you name either of them?
2 what?
Ohio schools and regionals. Talk about baseball, right?
Yes, sir.
Campbell.
One starts with an X, but you pronounce it with a Z.
Yeah, it's Xavier. I knew that one. But I'm trying to think of the other one.
Campbell Soup.
They're in Dayton.
They're in where?
Dayton.
Jim, you don't know that.
The Dayton Flyers.
Nope.
No,
Wright State.
Wright State, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Who was
and
it?
I am a Wright State baseball alum.
Xavier and Wright State.
Good job, Chris.
Oh, nice. Wright
We've
State.
won our conference championship 3 years in a row.
There you go.
They also have a good basketball program.
They're all right.
They used to be.
They used to be.
Well, their best player last year went to Ohio State, and I don't even know if he played. But yeah,
or whatever.
Their coach Nagy came from South Dakota State. He was the Jackrabbits coach that took them to the conference championship a bunch of times. But the reason why I'm calling today is also we played Ohio State twice this year in midweek games, and we beat them 3-0 to 3-1. So there's that too.
Wow.
And
wow.
But
well, I say this year had a new coach. They stole the assistant from TCU that they were very excited about.
Here we go.
No,
Here we
I'm
go.
saying this year they struggled early, but they finished on a 9-game win streak. They missed the conference playoff or championship because their record wasn't great, but I think they have a lot of momentum. It's hard to win in baseball in the North. You don't get started till super late. It's still snowing at the beginning of the year. You're traveling to play games early in the season, so you're not getting the recruits that the SEC, ACC, and Big 12 are getting because people don't want to go north and play baseball in snow. It's just so we're going to have to tip our hat to you guys every now and then, like a Michigan or even Indiana this year are pretty good, but it's definitely a lot harder.
Hey, Chris, you're from the great state of Ohio. You know sports. There's no doubt about that. Set these two straight. Let them know that Kirby Smart is now dominant coach in the country.
Well, the thing that Kirby has going for him that other coaches don't have is that he played at Georgia. He's from Georgia. And the NFL isn't looking for defensive coaches either. Ryan Day is more likely to go to the NFL than Kirby Smart is.
Absolutely.
So,
good point.
Kirby's in his dream job, and he's going to be there forever. And until I don't, unless like off the field issues kill him, but because Kirby's a great guy. It's not like he's.
We don't talk about that stuff.
Yeah, they don't.
We protect him from that.
They just yell it means more when you talk about it, so
it just means
it just doesn't matter.
It just means more.
Yeah, those vehicles they were driving were only supposed to be used for official football business.
But only two people died.
They were only
what's
going
the big
140
deal?
miles an hour. What's the problem?
Only 2 people died, 6 people arrested, 3 after that.
Listen, it just means more.
Exactly.
It means more,
Yeah. Hey, but Nick, this is Alabama Update. Why you got me on Georgia?
Because that's Saban's disciple.
Yeah, that's true.
Coach, if you would have been talking about Alabama baseball, I wouldn't even called in. I thought you were going to talk about the regionals today. You're hosting.
I've got listen, we got to talk about Montana. My girl up there, the softball
Joe
pitcher.
Montana?
No, what do you think about her?
Speaking of Alabama baseball,
man.
How do you go from betting on games to now you're one of the top 5 teams in the country?
It just means more.
He was betting from the dugout and sitting as best pitcher. Then they fire him, and they're like one of the top 5 teams in all of baseball.
James Hale's world.
Only the SEC. Only the SEC.
Just means more.
Hey, John, we got to take a break. Hey, Chris, you want to hang on a minute?
Yeah, I can hang on.
Hang on a minute. We got to take a break. Hey, get out. If you have any kind of problem, make sure you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be out there and they'll take care of all your needs. You want a great meal today? Get out to Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road or El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Great Mexican food right here across the beach, right here on the beach, right across from the Navy base. And don't forget about Dr. Chad Mitchell. Any type of injuries, Chad will take care of you. We'll be right back. Chris is on the phone trying to get these guys straight on what's going on in the world of college football and athletics right here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
But yeah, Braves beating the Phillies last night 8-5. Austin Riley kind of breaking out of that slump along with Marcell Ozuna right now, that's kind of more impressive. And no one's giving Michael Harris, which dealing with injuries, but no one's giving Michael Harris half the flack of what Marcell Ozuna was dealing with, and he's brought that average all the way
4
up.
to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the northeast around 10 miles per hour and temps near 85. We will have clear skies and a wind speed of 5 miles per hour tonight and be warm at 72. And mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 85 with a light breeze. Mostly sunshine Sunday with a temp of 84. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
It's time for the 2023 Southern Lights Talent Event. We're looking for local artists, including singers, musicians, comedians, any family-friendly talent that wants to take their talent to the next level. $10,000 in cash, recording deals, Chipola scholarships, video specials, all going to talented people from all over the tri-state area. We're also looking for sponsors, people and businesses that want to support local artists and make an impact on their community. Auditions are going on right now, so check us out today at southernlights.cc.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
Eagle! Hey! Martha, Kenny, and James Bond. I tell you what, that's one of the greatest fight songs in college football. I love Alabama, but I love Auburn's fight song. It's great. You ever been to a game there, Jim Bob? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Get out there and support the Auburn Tigers.
Great environment.
Now, at 11 o'clock to 1, you can listen to an Auburn Tiger. You can listen to Jason Kovaleski. They do an incredible job. Make sure you're tuning in.
Not me. I'm not an Auburn Tiger. You're talking about Ryan Patrick Mulvey on the inside job.
Yeah. Did I say Jason Kovaleski?
Yes.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Anyway, Ryan Mulvey does a great job. And if you love golf, you're going to go to Bay Point. But listen, make sure you listen to the Underdogs. And also from 4 to 6.
Really good
big
show.
day. Yeah. So we got some great shows. But Ryan Mulvey, my boy, is nobody. Nobody can touch him. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's up there with Brandt, Kovaleski. I mean, he's there.
He's up there with like the Jim Romes of the world.
I think so. I think he's better.
Jim Rome.
I think he's better.
He even knows stuff about landscaping.
What's the one I listen to? I like the guy. He calls Smith. God dog it. Smith's his last name.
Oh, Stephen A?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. He reminds me of him and Jason, kind of like that.
Okay.
As far as you know.
Right. Stephen A. Smith yells too much.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah,
Calm
Jason.
down, buddy.
Yeah, Jason's a little bit calm. Jason's like Johnny Carson. Cool, control.
There you go. That's a better compliment.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to who we got on the phone? Chip. Skip. Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. I apologize. You brought up baseball, Jason. Alabama's got a big game going on today. They got their regions. Who else in that besides the? You got it? Boston College?
Yeah, we got Boston College, Troy, and Nichols to play in Tuscaloosa in the regional.
Yeah. Chris Pettis is going up there. Her boy plays for Troy. She's going to go up there, I think, Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember now. But that's a big one. Watch out for Boston College. They worry me. Troy's playing really well. But I hope I picked Bama because I picked in my heart. But I'm kind of thinking BC might get it. Who you think's going to get it there, sir?
Which one, me or Jason?
Yeah, no, you.
If Troy gets past Boston College, that's going to be a really big game. Troy versus Alabama. I know a lot of those kids in Troy. They probably wish they could have played football at Alabama. Growing up, and I think that's going to be a really emotional game. I think Troy could take it this year. I never doubt mid-majors and when it comes to Southern baseball leagues.
Well, you made a great point there. I grew up in Montgomery. When we would play Alabama, Auburn, we were the rejects. Our coach even said it. We'd get ready to play them. If they wanted you would have been there. And just trying to motivate us to play tougher. And we always gave Alabama and Auburn a hard game. And speaking of that, Southern Mississippi is at Auburn's, and I do believe it's going to be between Auburn and Southern Mississippi. Who wins that region? Auburn's got Penn today, And then they've got Southern Mississippi has Sanford today. And Southern Mississippi coach is retiring. I think you're going to see them play really well there. They love him. They got a good program. They're really good in baseball. They're going to get the best shot they've got. I think it's going to come down to those two teams. But Auburn's got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But it won't shock me now if Southern Mississippi wins this one. What do you think is going to happen in that one, that region, Auburn?
It's hard to go against Auburn. Auburn's been in the College World Series recently.
Back-to-back, they're back-to-back hosting right now, too.
And but Southern Miss, like you said, is just a power. That coach has been there forever. They hosted last year. They went up against Ole Miss in the Super Regionals and lost both those games. But they did beat LSU last year in the regional. So I'll go with Auburn. But coach, it's hard for me not to pick it. It's hard for me to pick against Southern Miss with their track record. But Auburn's got just as good a track record as well. So I'll go with Auburn. But Southern Miss is right there.
Yeah, Auburn because they're home. Southern Miss is good, no doubt about it.
A lot of emotion for Southern Miss, though. Coach leaving, they're going
to play hard now.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
The emotions.
They made a College World Series like 10 years ago, I think. I know that they've made a College World Series recently.
People don't realize the state of Mississippi got some good athletes in it. Baseball's the king there. Look at Mississippi State, national champs. Ole Miss last year, national champs. Southern Mississippi. You know who knocked them out last year at home and hosted it? Ole Miss knocked out Southern Miss, the national champs.
Coach Hale, there's a point I want to make. You always talk about how Alabama puts money into baseball, but the point I want to make is kids don't grow up thinking they want to play Alabama baseball. They grow up thinking they want to play Alabama football. Now, kids in Mississippi grow up thinking they want to play Ole Miss or Mississippi State baseball. Yeah. They grow up thinking they want to play LSU baseball. No kids, no offense, grow up thinking, unless they're diehard Alabama fans, that they want to play baseball at Alabama.
Right.
I mean, it's just, if you think about the other schools around there, and that's why Alabama baseball is going to, obviously they're doing well this year, but that's the point, that's what you got to overcome if you want Alabama baseball to become a national powerhouse.
Yeah.
Got to overspend.
Well, do you, I don't know how you feel about Chris, but don't you think, Jason's comments about the gambling, was that on air or was that during the break?
Hopefully it was on air.
Yeah, about the coach. He made a bet.
From the dugout and set his best pitcher with no injury. The middle of a season.
It just means more.
And they could have got a number one seed. To me, it was the most baffling thing I've ever seen, because you have to be intelligent to run a college baseball program, and that is probably the dumbest thing I've heard all year, the most careless thing, and you have a good baseball team that has a possibility to win a national title, and you're sabotaging games and betting from the dugout. It's just
if you knew all the facts,
the fact that the bet came from Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati probably was flags, just red flags everywhere.
People in Ohio ruined everything.
And I grew up 45 minutes from there, so I laughed so hard when I heard that. I'm like, this guy's calling somebody in Cincinnati to make bets downtown.
He called Pete Rose. Pete Rose is
right.
the bets for.
That's hilarious.
All right, now who is your? Now I know where you went to school, but who do you really love in college football?
Ohio State. Thank you.
No. My dad played for Cincinnati.
Oh, cool. Chris, I know who I'm talking to now. Goodness, I apologize. Yeah. Oh, goodness. I hope you didn't listen to me earlier talking about Cincinnati.
Oh, I did. It's fine. Don't worry.
I was kidding.
The best player in the Cotton Bowl was a Bearcat. I'm just going to, at the end of the NFL career, Sauce Gardner is going to have a better career than Will Anderson or the quarterback. So just throwing that out there.
That was actually a pretty good.
That's secondary for Cincinnati. Both their cornerbacks started as rookies, and Brian Cook, who had an interception in the Cotton Bowl, he played in packages against in the Super Bowl and against the Bengals. He didn't start at safety, but he was in packages for the Kansas City Chiefs. That secondary was very good.
For everybody that said Cincinnati didn't belong there, that was actually a very close game. Cincinnati didn't capitalize on some red zone opportunities early in that game.
They should have scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that would have been a completely different game late in the fourth quarter. But I thought physically they held up. I thought Luke Fickell had a good game plan. I like him to be more aggressive, but that's just not his personality.
9 guys drafted in the NFL.
Oh, they have
that year.
What game are you talking about? Who'd they play?
Alabama. Yeah.
Did they watch the same game I watched?
I don't know.
That 17-9 game late in the third quarter? Yeah, I watched that one.
The Alabama said, we're just going to run the ball, get ready for the next game. Anyway.
Were they going to throw it?
I'm going to be respectful.
Were they going to throw it on Sauce Gardner?
I'm going to respect Chris and not be negative about Cincinnati.
I'm just saying that Kobe Bryant and Sauce Gardner both started at cornerback as rookies in the NFL. And, you could have thrown the ball, but he would have been intercepted more than he did. So, I don't know.
Okay.
My college baseball, I got to get to work, Coach, but the South Carolina pitching coach is a Wright State alum, and Indiana's head baseball coach is a Wright State alum. So, Sean Murphy, the starting catcher for the Braves, also, he's from Centerville, and he could have gone to Ohio State, but he chose Wright State over Ohio State, and he was a third-round draft pick. So, just throw those out there real quick. I'm rooting for South Carolina in the regional. I'm rooting for Indiana in the regional, and obviously Wright State. So,
Coach,
I got to go.
What's Wright State's mascot again?
The Raiders, is like, we consider them a wolf, and like the actual mascot is a wolf, but they're the Raiders. So they were a Viking at one point in time. But do either of you know who Ron Nischwitz is?
Who is it?
Ron Nischwitz. He was a pitcher and a basketball player for Ohio State back in like the '60s. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I've heard the name. I'm just not that familiar with him.
Yeah, he was Wright State's coach for a long time. So
I think Ohio State went after Wright State's baseball coach this past year because Wright State's been one of the best baseball programs in the state of Ohio. So, but it failed.
But like you said, Big Ten's just difficult to win in. You don't know who's going to win each year. There's no favorite. Like Nebraska and Michigan made super regionals a couple years ago, and now they're not even in the tournament.
Right.
It's just Big Ten's just difficult to win at.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much for calling, buddy. You take care of yourself. Call us back, okay?
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, buddy. Right. Chris, good guy. I saw Chris talked to him at Bay Point a couple times. Auburn has 2 newcomers having a problem getting qualified to join the program.
Shocking.
Jason Travis and Soul Ray, I forgot his name. Anyway, one was a 3-star defensive lineman from Iowa Western Community College. Maybe I understand now why. Maybe it's academics. I'm not sure about that. The other one's from Chipley, Florida. A wide receiver from Chipley, Florida. Dang. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully both of them get everything correct and they'll be able to play at Auburn this year. If not, Hugh Freeze made a comment and said, "Hey, one of them I feel pretty good about. The other one I have absolutely no idea." Really,
that's a transfer. That's usually credits. Something that's not transferring to Auburn for some reason.
And I brought that up a long time ago. Said all these kids jumping schools. And every school has different requirements.
Right.
How are you ever going to get a degree? I don't know, but
they don't. No, they don't need it.
They don't need it.
To make $1 million in NIL.
Yeah.
What's the degree mean now?
Well, really, what's degree from any university mean right now anyway? It just means more. We're right. Let's talk about some of our great, great people. We got so many of them. We appreciate every single one of you guys out there. Dr. Ward is incredible. He has cut on me. He has burnt me. He has slapped me. The guy is incredible. He told me to be still, and I moved, and he Will Smith me, and I didn't move again. Now I sat there and did what he said. But what I love about him, you go in, they numb you up, and they get it done. I mean, he don't come back and numb you up 2 or 3 times like they did down in South Florida. The guy's incredible. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go get it checked. 5 minutes can save your life. There's offices throughout Northwest Florida. Love you, Dr. Ward. You can listen to him every Wednesday right here, 7:30 on ESPN Northwest Florida. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason, where is our new location?
In Del Coronado Village, right there with Taziki's, Black Sheep Armory, Granite Cantrell's. We have free sample bar. We got the InBody 570. So any athlete, anybody can come in and do a free InBody, basically to break down your body composition. And that way we can help you kind of get on the best track to get in the best.
Love those free InBodies. Hey, don't forget about Beef O'Brady's on Lynnhaven, over in Lynnhaven. Pat does a great job there. They is a great place. Get some of their French fries, the best you'll ever have. Beef O'Brady's, Lynnhaven. We'll be right back. ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Tough night for the starters of Miami last night as well, but if you do that same thing that you just did with the Celtics, and we look at the Heat, Kevin Love, I think that it's safe to say, and I'm not, like, without Horford, right, veteran, but with Kevin Love, are we closer to has-been? Yeah, still a wily vet, and
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Now you can interact with the Coach James Hale Show live in the J. Michaels Studios. Download the new 104.3 ESPN app at the Apple Store and Google Play. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show, powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Make sure we talk about it during the next break. All right, what's going on else in the world of college football? They've come out and they've got the latest odds on the ACC. Who do you think is number one, Jim? Is it FSU or is it Clemson? Latest odds to win the ACC.
I'd say Clemson.
I got Florida State.
All right, I'm going to start at the bottom and make you listen. This team has a great chance to do it. Virginia comes in at 13th. They're tied with Boston College. They're plus 150,000.
Plus no chance.
Yeah, no chance. Number 12, Georgia Tech. They're out in left field. Number 10, Syracuse and Virginia Tech, no way, plus 8,000 each. Wake Forest is at plus 5,000. Duke is at number 8, plus 3,000. Pitt's got a good program, plus 2,500. Number 6, NC State. They've been pretty good lately. They're plus 1,600. Here are your top 5. Number 5, Miami, plus 1,400. What do you expect from Miami this year, really? What is it going to be?
Honestly, for me, nothing. I'm not a Miami fan at all.
They got rid of half the coaching staff.
To me, their biggest issue is developing a quarterback. They had Tyler Van Dam come back. He won ACC Rookie of the Year. He plays this next year. Miami fans had a lot of confidence that they were going to win 10 games, and they came in and looked terrible on offense. And, I mean, I just don't know how you fix that. And, they had that really good recruiting class, but those kids are just going to be freshmen. Quarterback spots up for grabs still. You had him looking at Alabama, just this year, their starting quarterback. So I don't expect much on offense. Well, everybody's tampering right now. But you just don't know what to expect from him. Cristobal was solid at Oregon, but is he an elite national championship caliber coach? I mean, he recruited very well last year.
I don't know. I'm like Jim. Until they do it, I'm going to say no.
I'm the same way. It's kind of a look and see. Yeah, it's something like that. They did bring in the...
Where do they get FSU? Is that at Miami?
I think FSU is going to kill Miami next year. I know all these Miami fans every year think they're going to win a national title.
Wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong side.
No, FSU got them at home.
That's a bad
FSU got Miami at home.
That's a butt whipping.
Jordan Travis, to me, is one of the best competitors. So I look at guys, and you see guys that are athletic, Anthony Richardson from Florida last year, but then you see guys that go out there and compete and want to win. on every play. And if you watch that Florida game, Jordan Travis willed them to that win. Some of the runs he made inside the 10-yard line.
He's good.
He's just a guy that's going to will his team to win and never give up. And that's what you need to lead a team like that, because they have a lot of talent on defense. They got front seven's really good. So to me, this is the Norvell's best Florida State team. They got to go in there and put it on LSU.
If not, win.
They got to go in there and put it on LSU. Yeah. If they go in there and put it on LSU, they're going to be the kings of ACC this year, in my opinion. They're going to play in the playoff, and this is what they really need to get that program back to where Bobby Bowden had it.
All right, number 4, my buddy, my former coach, Coach Mac Brown, North Carolina, plus 800. Number 3, listen to this. Number 3, Louisville. Number 3, first-year head coach. He's good. They got Mark Ivy there.
Good.
Mark Ivy's good.
That coach is one of the best coaches in the country. He had Purdue winning in the Big Ten on a certain level. And
they got a commitment for like the number 1 player in his position in the country.
So
I was like,
throwing the ball all over the place.
Huge hire for Louisville. I hated the hire for Cincinnati, where they hired Satterfield, the old Louisville coach. He was about to get fired there. They were looking around. I mean, he had.
So you agree, Louisville in year 1, the third best team in the ACC?
A phenomenal offensive coach.
Wow. And hey, you know what? This is from Vegas. They usually know what they're talking about. Number 2, Mr. Jim Brandt. Clemson.
Let's go. Florida State.
Woo! But Clemson, number 2.
Okay.
Plus 180.
So about even.
Florida State, number 1, favorite to win the ACC, plus 160. So it's close.
Yeah.
They're going to play each other twice.
Yep.
They're going to play twice.
I think so.
That's why Florida State needs that early season LSU win so they can afford to drop one of those games.
And now, give me your excuse again why you got the number 1 receiver in the country committed to you, and why he's spending time at Georgia, and why Georgia's number 1 quarterback in the country is recruiting him still to come play with him. What a combination. Us 2 at Georgia. We'll win a national championship. Look at the yards. You'll win the Heisman. I'll win the Heisman.
All right, let me throw something out there.
Throw it.
Dylan Raiola, who we're talking about, who's committed to Georgia. He was originally committed to Ohio State. He could be throwing to Marvin Harrison.
Right.
So you're going to tell me that this kid is better than Marvin Harrison?
This
or
is
Emeka Ibuka? I don't believe, this is just me now, I'm an old-timer, I don't believe anybody until they're actually playing for that team. They say one thing, they do another, they say this, but they really do mean this.
And what are they trying to all get? More what?
They're trying to get more NIL.
Money.
They're trying to get more money. All
money.
of it.
Yeah.
And I know Georgia fans are confident. They think they're going to flip Jeremiah Smith, and they kind of use that Raiola connection to Smith as the reason they're going to recruit him. Aaron Nolan, Ohio State's committed quarterback, is his 7-on-7 quarterback. They play together on 7-on-7. He's not going to leave this kid. He's also close to a 5-star, top 3 quarterback in the country for a kid that committed to 3 different schools during his time and left 3 different high schools in the last 3 years to basically chase NIL. If Brian Hartline's at Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith will sign with Ohio State. If he leaves, or there's some rumors he may be taking some NFL jobs because he's actually came out and said he feels like he's a good fit for the NFL as well, then Jeremiah Smith will probably end up at Georgia. But the one spot Ohio State does not have to worry about, even Jeremiah Smith, to me, who's the probably best receiver to come out in 10 years, they still got Marvin Harrison Jr. They still got the kid from last year, Ennis and Tate, and 5 stars everywhere. They got 6 5-stars in that room right now that haven't, taken a snap. So they are loaded at wide receiver, but Jeremiah Smith is, to me, the best receiver since Marvin Harrison Jr., and before that, probably the best receiver that's come out in 10 years.
Now, we got a little bit of time. We can get into it now. This is your latest odds coming out of Vegas on the SEC. Coming in at 14th was Vandy. Kentucky, Missouri tied for 12th. Mississippi State was next. Tied for 9th was South Carolina and Arkansas. So as bad as everybody's talking about the Florida Gators next year, they're going to be terrible. They might win 5 games. I'm not buying it. I think they're going to surprise people. I think they're going to be better than what people think. I really do. But they have Florida 8th at plus 6,000. Ole Miss was tied at 6. The Hugh Freeze has brought 20 quality football players in. 3rd ranked portal class in the country by 24/7. He can coach. He's got a wonderful staff there. Auburn's going to be the surprise team this year. I really believe that. But they got Auburn and Ole Miss tied for the best chance at number 6 to win the SEC. They're both plus 4,000. Then it drops you top 5. This surprised me, guys. Tennessee is only 5th. Wow. I watched them. I think they're good. I watched their spring game. This shocked me. But Vegas, they know things, man. Whatever. They're usually right on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Tennessee is behind Texas A&M. Tennessee plus 1,400. Texas A&M with Bobby Petrino. He's the key. If Jimbo leaves him alone, lets him. You love him, hate him, whatever. The guy can coach. I don't care what you say. The guy can coach football. If they got 2 huge egos, we had Andy Siegel knows college football like no other.
Oh, absolutely.
Made a comment on our show. His hot take for 2023, Jimbo Fisher will be fired at the end of the year. Petrino won't make it through halfway through the season, and they'll have a run-in, and he'll be gone. If they don't get along, it will blow up. 2 huge egos.
My biggest problem is I don't think the biggest problem over there was just the offense. I think it was discipline. You had kids smoking weed in the locker room. I mean, that is one of the most disrespectful things you can ever do to a football coach and to a team.
Wait a minute. Give me my money. I'm going to do what I want. Give me my money.
But it shows you that Jimbo didn't have control. And does that, by bringing in, an offensive coordinator, does that fix that problem? We're going to know really early what Jimbo, his long-term status with A&M is going to be, because if he loses 2-3 games early like he did last year, they're going to fire him. There's no reason to keep him. They're paying him, $90-some million to go 6-6. It's just not going to happen. The only reason he's there is the buyout. We all know that. I mean, the buyout's outrageous, but how can he keep losing with that much talent and just keep going down and doing the same things?
Yeah, it could blow up, no doubt about that. But if he just leaves, you be the offensive coordinator, leave him alone, let him do his job. I think he can keep his job, and I think they'll do well.
A&M has enough talent to win the SEC, and they probably have enough problems to maybe go winless in the SEC.
When they were all focused and all in,
right.
They went into Tuscaloosa and should have won the game.
Well, they had a 2-year stretch in recruiting that was better than any in college football history. So
yep.
They got some talent.
Number 3, the man that does fit in the SEC, he is a good fit at LSU. He will win a national championship at LSU. Coach Brian Kelly, LSU plus 450.
That's about right for them. I mean, they absolutely
should they be behind Bama? I got them winning the SEC.
Strictly from the quarterback spot, no. I mean, I got big questions about Alabama quarterback. And to me, without a great quarterback, the days of handing the football off, field position and playing defense aren't as prevalent as they used to be. But, Alabama LSU should be about the same. Last year's game was tight. Obviously Brian Kelly pulled it out. But Alabama's got a lot of talent. It's just the quarterback spot that we're worried about.
All right, here are your top 2. Coming in at number 2, plus 240, the Alabama Crimson Tide. One of the greatest guys. I love him. I respect him. I listen to him. He knows football. Herstry said, don't count out Saban. You people thinking Nick has lost it and all that kind of stuff, you better watch out for Bama next year. I think they're dangerous. Kirby, you're right, baby. He knows more than you put you two together. Y'all can't. Oh, we got to take a break. We got to. All right, well, Jason, I'll get you madder during the break, and we can.
I'm sure you will. I'm already.
And number 1, we know it, is Kirby Smart in the Georgia Bulldogs, minus 110. I tell you what, I appreciate all of our wonderful people: Dr. Ward, Max Fit Sports Nutrition, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. I love old Patrick too. Turf Pro Pest Control, they take care of our yard. They do a great job. Michael's Health Insurance, they do it. Michael's incredible. You can listen to him here Thursday on ESPN Northwest Florida. Individual, family, group health insurance. You got it. He does it all. And the great thing about him, Jason, you don't have to go to him. He's like Jason Kovaleski. They will come to you. Call him. He'll come to you. They do a great job. We're right back. Buckeyes in the building. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
The story of this series is that the Celtics have the better players, but the Heat are the better team. Period. End of sentence. Someone has to answer for it. It's that simple. You want to say it's the stars? Put it on them. You want to say it's the coach? Put it on him. But when you have the better players and don't have the better team, then you failed. It's that simple.
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the northeast around 10 miles per hour and temps near 85. We will have clear skies and a wind speed of 5 miles per hour tonight and be warm at 72. And mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 85 with a light breeze. Mostly sunshine Sunday with a temp of 84. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
You don't know what his problem is. But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
I don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, it's Fun Friday here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Really enjoy when Jim's in here and Jason Kovaleski together. We have a great time. And the Wildcat back in the back room and everything. Jason, you know, I try to rile you up, get you a little mad about that, but I really, truly do like Herbstreit. I think he's great for college football. I enjoy listening to him. He has something about it. He's a good-looking guy, got a great-looking family. There's a couple things I didn't understand. You don't usually see Alabama ex-players' families go to another school unless they – and I will say this, though. If they've moved away and they're not in the state, maybe not in the South, then, yeah, I've seen them go to different universities. Kids go – you know, you had players that played out in Cowboys and they – grew up in Dallas, and I could see it. They go to school to Texas or some school close by, SMU or something like that. But most Alabama people and Auburn people and Georgia people, their kids kind of go to the same school. And you got the most famous, you got to admit, he's probably the most famous guy right now because he's on TV all the time. And he's got a lot of power, a lot of pull, because what he says, people listen to. And I listen to him. I think he's on top of his game. I think he's one of the best at what he does. But I was surprised, to be honest with you, and I try to rile you and Jim up a lot, but I was surprised his kids went to Clemson, to Dabo, instead of Ohio State. Was that
He's got one at Ohio State right now.
Yeah, they got one at Ohio State.
Yeah, but he's also got some at Clemson.
Right.
But since you just said that, it kind of answered my question. I was going to ask both of you, so thank you for ruining it.
That's my job.
I thought the reason they didn't go to Ohio State is because of the Trussell situation. But evidently, that's not it.
It's been way more than just that. You know,
a lot of people don't understand what is your two beef with him.
Well, the Alamo Bowl stuff. The first thing is, you know, the stuff that happened under Trussell with the trinkets and the tattoos was just placed up. I mean, that was garbage.
Which is absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. It was absolutely nothing then.
Were they McDonald bags?
Selling their own memorabilia.
Were they McDonald bags?
No.
Okay. Were they new cars?
No.
Okay.
And they weren't stealing money.
Where was the house?
Cancer patients.
Was it a player from Florida that got a new house to go to SEC school? Did they get a new house?
No,
okay.
They didn't kill anybody. They didn't race any cars. They were actually using like gold pants. You get gold pants when you beat Michigan at Ohio State. I mean, you get a set of gold pants, memorabilia.
Yeah, a little trinket.
Yeah. So they were using.
Let me go back. You get gold
Pants. When you beat Michigan.
Oh, when you beat okay.
Like it goes on like a bracelet or a necklace.
I got you.
It's like a charm or something.
Now.
So anytime you can beat that Ohio State, you get a set of gold pants.
That's cool. Okay.
They take some of these memorabilia. Some of them were like Big Ten MVP trophies. Some of them were national championship rings. But they were selling them and using that money to buy tattoos with. So
their own personal
items. So
they made a day 30 for 30 for this, did they?
Oh, it was on ESPN for 3 months. Herb Street was trashing Tressel, trashing the program, talking about how they were rogue, talking about where there's smoke, there's fire. Of course, they had no evidence of anything. When the NCAA came up and set up, shop, the only thing they said is that Tressel lied to the NCAA. But what did he lie about? They didn't actually do anything wrong. So the whole investigation was crap. That's when the whole Tressel thing started. But there was other things. Herb Street went around the SID and brought Maurice Corrett on the game day set that one year and interviewed him, which was illegal, and ended up getting him suspended for 3 games. So that was another Tressel, Herb Street little argument there. He's said a lot of just shiesty things.
So it goes back to then when I'm hearing both y'all, you played for him, you know him. So they didn't like one another?
I don't really know what their real relationship is. I just know this. I'm not as anti-Herb Street as Jason is. I just know that if I'm in that position, it's got to be really hard to know that you played there, you were the captain there, your father coached there. I mean, you're as deep in Ohio State football as you can be, and yet they still want you to be objective. And what are you going to say when negative stuff happens? I mean, because that's where the rubber's going to meet the road. When this happens, how are you going to report on it? What are you going to say about it? And I don't know what he said or didn't say. I'm not. I honestly don't know. But it's got to be tough to be in that position. It's like the guy from Georgia, who's on the game.
Pollard.
David Pollard.
Same thing. I mean, what are you gonna? Are you gonna say bad stuff about your own school? I mean, what are you? It's got to be tough on them.
Yeah.
That's just my take.
McElroy.
McElroy.
You play for Tressel. Was he a crook? Was he just?
No, not at all. He was very young at the time. He's only 3 years older than me.
Should we take this time to try to change Jason's attitude towards Kirby?
I don't know.
Can we just move it out?
I don't know.
Look, this guy moved out of Columbus because everybody hated him. I mean, they moved from Columbus to Nashville.
That's what I was getting at. His kid's not going there.
It's very common. Everybody knew what he was doing. He knew the program inside and out. He could have stood up for the program and said, we should wait for all the facts to come out. But no, he threw everybody under the bus. They called him Judas in the locker room. They hated his guts. They didn't want nothing to do with him, and they still did. And then fast forward, Urban Meyer came in. He knew the power of ESPN. He went in there and smoothed over that relationship because he says, you know what, we don't need this Ohio State alum on national TV talking trash about our program.
Smart.
So he brought him in, made him part of the family, made him part of the program, and that's why you see now Herb Street's son's at Ohio State. He's very, familiar with Ryan Day. But even during the national championship game, when he's calling that game, he didn't question any of the calls. He just up there, and as an Ohio State alum, you should at least speak up when you see something and be honest about it. But he's just a complete sellout. He's just one of those empty suits that will say whatever it takes to get attention. And he caters to the SEC all the time. Have you ever heard some of these guys on CBS talk anything bad about the SEC?
Never.
No. What are you talking about?
It's absolutely gross to listen to CBS.
It just means more to us, man. Come on.
Well, it's just like a fluffer, half hour or something. It's just that's absolutely gross.
It's just love. It's love. We share the love.
But,
we stick together.
This guy gets on and trashes the program. Joey Galloway was another one that did the same thing. So when they get on ESPN, to me, it's just like a Republican being on CNN. And no, I'm not trying to be political.
Wait. So Galloway now is turning against Ohio State too?
Well, Galloway was for about 3-4 years. He's just towing the company line.
Well, let me go back then. Do you think it's because
they work for ESPN?
No, I think it's because him and Tressel must have had a falling out.
I don't believe that. I believe they get paid millions of dollars by ESPN, which is the SEC network, and they say, hey, this is the company line. You can either tow it or get
I think that's a big part of it, too.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Technically, people help me. Technically, we're a CBS network.
But technically, the Big Ten is now, too. You know, this is the first game of the season coming up. So this is going to be my point.
We're all coming together.
This is going to be my point. Listen to how CBS will now talk about the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It's going to be the greatest conference on the planet, and it's the same way you talked about this. That's what I have a problem with.
It will. You're right.
When you're an alumni, you carry more weight when you talk about a program, and that's what I have a problem with Herb Street about. There's a lot of times where he could say, no, we don't have all the information, or no, I know this person personally.
If we can get him on the show and have you on the phone with him, is there any way we can patch up this relationship with you two?
For sure, let's do it. Randy may be a little nervous that day. I ain't gonna lie. I get a little hot-headed when I feel like people are saying.
I know
so I
you
like
do.
to say it to their face.
I just want you guys to, and you Big Ten people, y'all need to just chill out and let's all come together and get along.
Yeah.
Let's just
you have the opposite view because you get all the love and nobody ever says anything bad about Alabama or Georgia or the SEC. That's the truth.
Or the NCAA never comes after you when you kill people or rob people.
Y'all don't know how to do it.
Obviously not.
We know how to treat people.
Yeah.
It's that Southern hospitality.
Brandon Miller knows how to treat people.
How much long? 1 minute? How much? Oh, okay. All right.
That was a different
Hey, Jason, before we get out of here today, seriously, let's talk about that new location again. We got to get that straight for everybody.
Yeah, Del Coronado Plaza on 23rd Street. Come in, do your free in-body, use our free sample bar. We got some amazing products. If you use pre-workouts, proteins, amino acids, anything like that, you can come in, sample for free, and not have to buy anything. And we do have local, military, and first responder discounts daily.
And if you go in there, too, please talk to him about the SEC and tell him the love that you have for the SEC. We want to bring him along into our family. No, they do respect.
Oh, absolutely.
SEC.
We're
They
big
really
fans of all of college football. SEC's been the best conference over the last 20 years, so we have a lot of respect for it.
Jim Bob, we got you Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
All right, good. Jason, got you next Friday.
Yep, and I might be in a different day next week too if I can get in early.
You gonna bring somebody? What'd you say?
I might bring Darlene in, the girl that does our meal
plans. People enjoy listening to her. She's great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we had a great day today. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you keep it right here. Listen to Ryan Mulvey from 11 to 1. David and the Underdogs from 4 to 6. And then Feinbaum 6 to 10. I got to sneeze. How much time can I go now? We're going. Bye-bye. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
Jay, clam chowder. It's the clams.
It's the clams. I mean, it's not the chives or the potato or the milk.